so that when the time comes, for you to enter that bilateral meeting, you have the unmistakable force of Ukraine's friends behind you, ensuring that Russia will uphold any deal and will never ever again attempt to take 1 square kilometre of Ukraine. So that when the time comes, for you to enter that bilateral meeting, you have the unmistakable force of Ukraine's friends behind you, ensuring that Russia will uphold any deal and will never ever again attempt to take 1 square kilometre of Ukraine. Layer number 1 will be after a peace deal / a long-term ceasefire or a combination of the two. The first layer has to be for the Ukrainian armed forces to be as strong as possible to defend this proud country and nation going forward. And the second layer has to be the security guarantees provided by Europe and the United States. And as we all know, the Budapest Memorandum and Minsk did not provide those security guarantees. So we clearly know what it should not be. And we are now working together, Ukraine, the Europeans, the United States, to make sure that the security guarantees are of such a level that Vladimir Putin, sitting in Moscow, will never ever try to attack Ukraine again.
I'd like to have a trilateral format with Trump and Putin right away, but if President Trump says that the format in which we can continue to talk is a bilateral track, Zelensky-Putin, then we are ready to support this, and then we can have a trilateral track. Let's talk about the date and talk about the place. That's all I have for now. The Russians will try to do something else now to avoid a meeting. The issue is not just the meeting. The issue is that they don't want to end the war. A bilateral meeting is one of the components of how to end the war. It's not all, it's one of the components. And since they don't want to end it, they will look for space for it. And this space needs to be reduced. America and Europe in unity reduce this space for war. We need to force them to engage in diplomacy. We need really strong sanctions if they don't agree to a diplomatic solution to this war. If they don't want to end the war, We are very much counting on strong sanctions packages from our partners. We believe that we need to do everything we can to prevent Russia from continuing to hide from the meeting. And these should be Article 5-like guarantees, like the 5th article of the NATO treaty. And these are really effective security guarantees. This is the result we should achieve. But now we see that the Russians are doing everything to prevent the meeting. Ukraine, unlike Russia, is not afraid of any meetings between leaders. We are ready to work productively, to the maximum. We hope that partners will help ensure at least a minimally productive position of the Russian side. We don't have enough planes to guarantee us safety in the sky. There is a number we need. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But we need to be all on the same side, so that the partners agree, and they do agree in principle on the presence that we need, on what kind of air fleet we need. For example, Turkey, which stated at the last meeting of our coalition of the willing, said, "We want to be part of the security guarantees for Ukraine in part of the sea. We are professional, we know how to help in the Black Sea. We will focus on this. We'll be fully present there." It is too early to talk about all countries. The infrastructure will be written down and written out, and then we will understand who can help with what and how.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.